Well, I'm here at the Nobel Week Dialogue because the subject is a subject that I'm very interested in, and that is aging in humans. And I think particularly the interesting question is, how well can we age? Although there are many other aspects and ways of thinking about aging. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the day. We've had some very interesting discussions already, and I think it's a subject of very broad importance around the world, and we are looking at big changes in demographics which present some very interesting new ways that we can think about the whole condition of being human and what that involves. So I'm here to learn many aspects about aging that I don't think I had thought about much before. Well, I think we've seen a good mix of people both on stage and off, and again, this touches us all so broadly. Certainly it's not just a question of people who are aging themselves, because we see so much of how life progresses is influenced at all stages throughout the life course. So I'm glad to see that there's a wide range of people and a wide range of different angles and views on the many facets of aging. How can you extend your lifespan? Well, I'd like to extend my health span more than my lifespan, and the two may translate into each other. Certainly, the good old standby exercise has been proven in many ways, and for my kind of research on telomeres, exercise certainly is looking very much like it improves their maintenance and thereby improves the maintenance of cells, which in turn improves health span. So exercise, enjoying life, getting a good sleep, and you know, eating reasonably, which I think many of these things, if they're all done, exercise, sleeping, enjoying life, good eating habits usually follow from that as well. So I don't especially worry about diet, but I certainly try to make sure I'm eating, you know, reasonably nutritious and hopefully delicious foods. Well, I think our society is youth fixated, but in a way we should look at that and say, well, why are we youth fixated? It's because of, you know, aspects of youth that are desirable. What's fascinating is many of those can be seen to carry more and more into what we would think of as old age measured chronologically, but more and more, as we've heard today in the sessions, old age as measured by, you know, things that we typically think of as old is getting pushed back further and further. So the chronologically old are often actually relatively youthful in a lot of different kinds of measures. And so being youth obsessed is not a problem per se. It's what do we value in chronological youth that we can more and more push into older and older age, that I think we'll see different ways of learning how to do that. And we already are seeing things like education, for example, has made big differences in how people are able to age much more successfully and push their biological aging into later and later chronological years. How old is old? I think it's as old as your biological and your mental age is, and that can be, you know, I suppose probably it's for all of us, it's probably 100. Older and wiser, definitely. Now, of course, you know, I have a vested interest in saying that, but I think there's a lot of objective evidence that this is true, you know, particularly for drivers, for example. Drivers, they may not have the reflex speed that very young drivers have, but they have the good sense to not get into stupid situations. So there's lots of examples where wiser is definitely a winning strategy, and the older do it well. I don't want to live forever, but I want to live healthily for as long as possible. Age matters only in the sense that it's how you're functioning, and chronological age is becoming less and less of a real measure of biological and functional aging. Although eventually, of course, at the moment it looks like old age will eventually, you know, catch up to us. But on the other hand, technologies and other things are changing in ways that we probably can push it back further and further still. Well, I think the Nobel Week Dialogue event is unique in various senses. It's happening in Sweden, which is, you know, a unique part of the world, and certainly for aging studies this has been a place where huge contributions have been made to that for various reasons. And it's happening in the context of a sort of excitement about research. Science is what's being celebrated here, science and research and literature and sort of higher human cultural activities through the Nobel Prizes. And so to have something as profound as aging, which stretches to every part of society, take place in this context is I think, a really appropriate juxtaposition. And it's good that we're bringing together today all sorts of very different aspects of aging, which are not just the biological, but very much the societal and broader aspects as well.